Doug MPA back with another live stream. Thank you for joining me this Sunday, June 30th of 2024. I really appreciate it. And make sure to like the video on the way in and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate that. Hit that super chat button. All donations are appreciated. So today we're going to talk about women and the housing market. On my channel, guys, I always say that there's a big difference in the mindset between when men buy a house and when women buy a house. Men buy a house and they say, I could put a wife and kids in here one day. Women buy a house as a status symbol and a disqualifier for potential suitors. That's right. A lot of women say, hey, you know, if I have a house, he needs to have a house. And another big difference is um, a lot of women's careers, female dominated careers, the salary is front loaded. So in a lot of cities, women make more money than men under the age of 30. Then after 35, men make more, and it keeps going up. And then three, a man will give a woman the privilege of nesting in his house. A man will move a woman in and say, hey, decorate the house. I don't care. Put all my stuff in the basement in the man cave of my own house. Women will never give a man that same privilege ever, guys. Don't move in with a woman ever because it's her house. You're just living in it. If something happens in a woman's house, you have to leave. If something happens in your house with a woman, you have to leave. Anyway, so we're going to talk about women in the housing market. I always start um, the stream with a crime file story, guys. I have a 499. Oh, does my voice sound strange? Hold on, you guys. 1 second. Hold on. Audio. Does that sound better? Okay, yeah. It was hold on 1 second. Hold on. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Checking my settings. Hello. Okay. All right. How's that sound? And thanks for pointing that out, Steve M. I really appreciate it. I had to my my sound um for StreamYard is going through the mic of my headphones for some reason. I have no idea why. Anyway, so I'm gonna start off with a crime file story. And guys, if there's a crime files membership on my channel, it's $4.99 a month where I I I make videos about women who have been accused of, are being currently prosecuted for, or have been convicted of various crimes. So we're going to cover this one here where a woman tried to take out her husband by putting Roundup weed killer in his Mountain Dew, you guys. That's right. And I do these videos because when something I always say that in 2024, women have as much, if not more, of a proclivity to do evil acts than men because men have been held accountable, but women have not. It's just now that women are being held to anywhere of a semblance of the same accountability as a man. So let's take a look at this real quick. Remember, this is a story about a woman who tried to put Roundup weed killer in her husband's Mountain Dew.
Wow. That's all I could say.
Jackie Sproat owns a gaming shop next door to the spa operated by Michelle Peters just outside of Lebanon.
I just recently found out that she was working next door to me, but that doesn't make a difference. I was just really surprised.
Laclede County deputies arrested Peters Monday. She's accused of spiking her husband's Mountain Dew with the popular weed killer Roundup.
It is a different type of domestic assault.
According to court documents, in May, Peter's husband noticed that his soda had an unusual taste and shortly after became ill. The victim became suspicious, causing him to review the video footage taken inside the garage where he kept his 2 liters.
So, first off, let's give him a round of applause for having surveillance cameras in his garage. Good job there, man. Good job. Because he has the camera footage of her doing nefarious things to his Diet Mountain Dew. He has evidence of it.
It was then, investigators say, he realized that his wife was adding something to his drink. Sheriff David Millsap says while it's uncommon, domestic violence against men does happen.
In domestic situations, we know that 85% of domestic assault victims are females, not males, but it's
Now, guys, okay. Let's clear up that with some stats here. They say 70 to 75% of DV cases, it is mutual combat between the man and the woman. And the majority of cases where someone is hitting someone and the other person isn't hitting back is a man putting her hand, no, is a woman putting her hands on a man. That's right. So let's clear it up. Let's clear up some of that with some actual stats here. DV is bad all the way around, and everyone should keep their hands to themselves. Guys, don't put your hands on a woman, especially if you have a lot to lose. Just leave. But then women, it should go the same for you. Don't put your hands on a man, ladies.
underreported usually with males when it comes to domestic assaults.
A situation Jackie says she knows all too well.
I have a lot of friends who are male who have been in domestic abuse situations, and it's really important to let them know that it's okay to seek help. It's not the best thing to be the tough guy all the time.
Sheriff
You know, I'm gonna give her a round of applause too. Good job, comic book lady. Good job.
Millsap says Peters finally admitted to putting the weed killer in her husband's drink and says she was mad because he didn't appreciate the 50th birthday party she
Wait, is she 6 foot tall? Look at this chick. Look at that. She is tall, 6 foot tall.
Jesus H. Christ.
Wow. Dang.
was mad because he didn't appreciate the 50th birthday party she threw for him.
The investigation will reveal more as we go to court as to the totality of all the circumstances. So is there more to the story? Yes, there is. And all that comes out in court.
I just hope things work out the way it's supposed to through the judicial system.
So I'm going to keep track of that story, you guys, because I want to see what kind of sentence she gets. A lot of times, hey, well, let me say hi to everyone here. Steve M., thank you for joining, and thank you for helping me with the sound check, guys. I really appreciate it. Pyro, as usual. Jessica, thank you for being here, man. I really appreciate it. You've been binging my videos and dropping comments. I'm glad you like it. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that super chat button because all donations are appreciated. So let's read about this woman poisoning her husband's Mountain Dew real quick, and then we can get into the actual meat of the live stream. There's 11 Missouri woman is accused of trying to take out her husband with herbicide and insecticide by spiking his Mountain Dew after he turned in surveillance footage. Conquering Wanderer, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. And wait, I don't have 2 channels, Jessica. I only have 1. So it says if you want to join the conversation, the StreamYard link is linked to the top. So come on in. I'd love to hear your opinion about this. It says the woman has been identified as Michelle Peters. She's believed to have done it several times throughout May and June, according to a statement. Peters is accused of spiking her husband's soda with herbicide Roundup insecticide, according to police. This is The victims began suspecting the soda was being tampered with after feeling ill. He provided surveillance footage to the police that indicated Peters was tampering with the soda. Peters was charged with first-degree domestic assault and armed criminal action. She's being held at the Clay County Detention Center. Now, there's actually another article saying that she tried to say that she was mad at him for not appreciating the 50th birthday party that she threw for him. But guys, he had a $500,000 life insurance policy. That's right, $500,000. So I think it has to do with the $500,000, but that's just me. All right, boom. Once again, I do videos like this. I call it the Crime Files. It's a membership tier on my channel. It's $4.99 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee. I have to put them behind a membership tier because every time I do a video about a woman doing some type of crime, it gets limited monetization. So I pretty much make no money off of it. So, if you want to become a member, sign up. I'd appreciate that. It's $4.99 a month. Okay. So we're going to start this women in the housing market live stream with some videos off of TikTok of women getting evicted. This is how rough it is out there, guys. So this is the first one here, and and look at this woman, guys. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking,
Jesus H. Christ.
it was V-dubs, man. You already know how this is gonna go. It says I got evicted 2 weeks into my lease. You guys already know where this is gonna go, but let's just entertain this for a little bit. Let's check this out.
It's currently 12:34 in the morning, and I'm currently moving all my shit out of my apartment because, like I told y'all, I'm gonna do the story time.
First off, she's gonna do that freaking lip smack thing the whole time, guys. So watch out.
They evicted me because my landlords are big. Like, they racist. Like, it's nothing. I'm gonna get into like the details and shit, but they racist. Point.
Of course they're racist. Of course they are. Guys, tattoos, lashes, tattoos on her face, awful looking weave. You know where this is going, guys.
Point blank period. So I got evicted 2 months into me living in the unit. It's a townhome. Show y'all.
And let me know if you guys understand a word this girl's saying.
The majority of the stuff out, but yeah, so that's upstairs. I'll go upstairs, straight upstairs. But anyways, I posted this, like where I'm at. I posted it when I first came and looked at it, and when I first got the townhouse, I posted it on my TikTok or whatever. So the videos I still
Look at that. Is that a butterfly on her neck? Oh my goodness.
Jesus H. Christ.
up if you want to see them. But anyways, I got evicted 2 weeks into living here, into my lease, because they said that when I first moved in, I moved in at 12 o'clock in the morning and it was let out.
Wait, she moved into the apartment at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning. Jeez.
And then my neighbor said that I spent the whole weekend unpacking, and I just was too. They said I wasn't a good fit for the neighborhood. Me and my boyfriend got into an argument in the unit, and they said that
And she looks like the type where when there's an argument, it's a knockdown, drag out fight, yelling, screaming, throwing stuff. Come on now.
that we were very loud. So they said that I was basically for noise complaint.
Oh, wait,
So,
guys, hold up a second. Let's rewind. What is this in the background, you guys? You see that? Looks like a little tea table for her daughter to play at. You know what that means?
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you a single mom. Now you a single mom.
She's a single mom out here because of course she is.
noise complaint basically. So, which was so crazy because y'all, I really like didn't even the point of time where they evicted me. I didn't even have my bed in here. My bed wasn't even in here. So when they evicted me, I'm like, I haven't even been there. We've been staying to his house because I don't have a bed to sleep in. So I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Cool. So I took my time moving. So this is back. They told me I got evicted in November and I had to be out December 7th. I took my time.
So she's had a month to move, and it's 12 o'clock at night, and she's gonna say later on that she has till 8 a.m. to get her stuff out. So she has what, 8 hours to get her stuff out, and she has all this crap in her apartment still.
Time because it's like I have to find somewhere to go. It's about to be Christmas, New Year. So today's the 26th. So 8 o'clock today. So it's 12 a.m. So 8 a.m. today, everything got to be out. So they can't put the shit on the door to get all this. So, yo. I'm going to tell y'all more about the story, but I just want to go and tell y'all since I was in the process of moving this shit around. It's really crazy. Like, I really just can't believe they did all this. Y'all don't understand. Like,
You guys, she's sitting there having a pack, and she's turning up right now.
Jesus H. Christ.
You guys. Oh, it figures, right? It figures. Oh my goodness.
it was shit in here. It's just really crazy. They didn't give me bad as fuck. It's cool though. It's cool. So I already got an apartment. The problem is this happened the devil. My moving day for my apartment was January 25th, the day they came and put the notice on the door. So yesterday, technically today, but yesterday. I was supposed to be moving anyways, but my apartment not ready because it snowed and did all that other shit. So it's not ready. So it won't be ready until the 2nd. So now I'm having to move twice. Like, just look at the devil. I'm having to move twice. So I gotta put my shit in storage, and then I'm gonna have to move it from storage on the 2nd and move it into my new apartment. It's some bullshit, but this is cool.
All because she couldn't keep the noise down. And okay, guys, Doug in PA is black, and I can tell you, I get kind of nervous when I see a whole bunch of black people move into the neighborhood. And I'm black, I can say it. You want to know why? Because of all the noise, all the disruptions, all the yelling, all the screaming. People freaking want to knock on your door, um, and you know, ask your business, borrow stuff. I'm not saying all black people do that, but too many. Most other groups of people, they pay a lot of money to live in a nice neighborhood, and they expect a certain experience. Except my fellow black people a lot of the time. Why? There are times you wonder. All the people in a neighborhood are living in $600,000-$700,000 homes, but they're bumping music late at night. People freaking playing pickup games of basketball in someone's driveway with a makeshift basketball hoop. What are we doing? Just because Doug let me know when she says anything non-boring. You can be waiting a long time, you guys. A long time. All right. Now this girl, watch this.
Come here. Let me tell you something. Don't tell nobody I told you this shit. Because I told you, I lie. I'm gonna call you a lie in your face. You ever being evicted from your house? Fill up a Ziploc bag. You could put some holy water, some Florida water, spiritual water, what have you. Fill it up. Get that eviction notice that your landlord or the sheriff put on your door. Then write the words on the back of it. Paid in full. Fold it away from you 7 times. Then go to your Bible and read Chronicles 7, verse 15 to 16. And then Psalms 68, verse 6.
What is she even saying right now, you guys? It gets even better.
Jesus H. Christ.
If you want a little razzle dazzle, you can light an orange candle for justice or a white one for protection. There's other shit you could do, but you gotta join that Patreon for me to give you that tea. Put that eviction notice into that water, that spiritual water you prepared, and then throw it in the back of your freezer.
You guys, what was that even about? So you're supposed to take your eviction notice, pour some spiritual water on it, and throw it in the back of, write paid in full on it, and then throw it in the back of your freezer?
Jesus H. Christ.
Oh my goodness. All right. A couple more of the evictions here, and then we're going to talk about modern women being house poor, because that is the main theme uh, of this live stream. So a couple of more of women getting evicted, because it's hard out here for these modern women, guys. It is hard out here. Carlos X in the house. How you doing, my friend?
All right, y'all. So this is the countdown to This is the countdown to paying off my eviction, right? I only have $381 left before the 31st, y'all. So it's Saturday right now, and I'm at work right now. So I'm gonna just do this little money count with y'all today to see if we can get it.
Guys, okay. I'm 43 years old. I've never had bad credit. I've never missed a car payment. I've never missed a rent payment. None of that. So this is completely foreign to me, you guys. It's foreign to me. I don't borrow more than I can afford. I don't live beyond my means. I don't do any of that, and I never have, ever. So how do people get to the point where they're facing down an eviction, guys? How does that happen?
We're gonna do probably Saturday and Sunday because serving is a hit or miss. You never know. If you did, no. But we finna see. We finna get this day started. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Just got my first tip. It was $30. Turn me up. Just got my next one. It's a cash tip of 10 smackaroons. $10. We're grateful. Okay, $10. We're gonna get this.
And how do people sleep at night knowing that they have a pending eviction notice coming? How do they do it? Carlos, it should be deeply embarrassing to be evicted, shameless women. 100%.
All right, just got another tip. I'm kind of slow, y'all. I only had 3 tables over here since 1 o'clock, and it's 4 freaking o'clock. Like what? But anyway, what I got? $11 in cash. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I just got $27. Turn me up.
And then, isn't she gonna get in trouble for shooting TikTok videos inside of her place of business where she works? Look at this.
Turn me up. Okay, I just had an 8-5 and I got a $50 tip. Talk me now. I hope I'm not getting y'all nervous. This video too long, but I just got a $20 tip. But I might just do a money count. So I won't be getting on your nerves because it's not really a minute long. So yeah. Okay. So first of all, forget the money count. So I was gonna do a money count so we can keep. Oh, it don't even matter because your girl got on. Okay.
What these women do in front of a camera on social media, you guys, is crazy.
Yeah, so we got all the money to pay out the date thanks to my man, whatever.
So her man had to come in and help her with her rent, guys. Don't ever help women with their rent or their mortgage. Don't do it, you guys. Don't. It's not your responsibility. Steve says, what is a 304's credit score? You guessed it, 304. That's a good one. I'm going to give him a round of applause. That was pretty funny. Oh, man, let's go.
But anyway, yeah, so I ended up the night with like two something. And then my man came through. And together we brought home a lot. So that way, it's paid off.
So a lot of these women have men to save them. OSSR in the house. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Once again, a lot of these women are looking for guys like you to swoop in and save them, guys. Don't be that guy. There's one more. Now look at this woman.
If you haven't seen it before, and I hope you haven't, this is what an eviction looks like. Books everywhere, packing as fast as we.
First off, I know what you guys are thinking.
Jesus H. Christ.
Look at the tattoos on her chest and on her hands. Look at that. Ugh.
Can. Moral of the story is to not get COVID and miss work and be late on rent, where your apartment complex does not take partial payments. And then you're behind again. But
Hey,
Jessica
dude.
in the house. How you doing, my friend? What's going on?
Great, great. Thanks for having me. I joined to keep you company a little bit with this foolishness.
I appreciate it. So we're uh, I'm talking about being house poor in the housing market, and the concept of uh, I kind of flood the beginning of the stream, but the concept of being house poor is you spend more than 30 or 40% of your income on housing, and
On
there's
the
a
rent, you
lot.
mean?
Yeah, on housing.
Yeah.
So like on mortgage or your rent, but I'm covering women getting evicted first because it's fun.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think about the whole house poor concept?
Well, I think, I mean, what you just said is correct. I mean, you have to evaluate, the importance of your rent based on your income, and it should be a good, let's say, measure to know if you're in deep trouble or not. And I think these women, they have absolutely no clue about finance. They do whatever they feel is best for their pleasure right now, and then they have problems later on. That's how I see it.
Yeah, um, I m- men were easy to please, we're easy to live with. We don't have to live with. It doesn't take a lot for us to live,
Yeah.
so we are less likely to be house poor. Have you seen that meme where it's, you know what? I have it on my community page. So let me bring it up, where it's like a chair in
Yeah,
front
yeah,
of a
yeah, yeah, yeah,
TV.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just a lawn chair and a TV, and that's it. No, no,
yep,
no
here
need
it
for
is,
more.
right
Yeah, yeah,
here. It's
yeah.
right
It's
here.
perfect.
Look at
It's
this.
perfect. Perfect.
Yep. This is all it takes for us to live right here. A chair, a beer, a PlayStation 5, and we're good.
Yeah,
So, and remember, women feel entitled to this lifestyle. Men don't feel entitled to any of that unless we've worked for it.
yeah.
And the few guys who do feel entitled to a lifestyle without working for it, they get severely punished by society and mocked by men who have
As
put
as
in
as
the
they
work.
should, as it
Yep.
should be. And also, there's this it's a theme in the media where I've heard several times that like women are the most homeowners of the United States and stuff like that. And I can bet my life that every house they own has been taken in a divorce from a man, something like that. So
so the stats are like 52% of houses are owned by married couples, but like 20% of houses are owned by single women, and it's like 11% of houses are owned by like single men.
yeah, and the single
And
women, it's also divorced women, and I mean they should make a distinction between divorce and not married, single for sure, but they
yep,
don't.
yep, but they don't. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, um, when a man buys a house, he says, "You know what? I'm going to live in here. I'm going to marry a woman and have kids and have them in this house." When a woman buys a house, it's for a status symbol and a disqualifier for a potential mates, because women will never give the man of the privilege of nesting in her house. A
Yeah,
man will let a woman nest in his house, redecorate the whole thing, move everything around, move his stuff downstairs into the basement.
but
A
I mean I mean that's how it should be in a way. Like in a traditional setting, the man provides the house and the wife makes it a home, for the family. But nowadays, what happens is that I'm it's my opinion that women marry in order to divorce and just scam someone from all their fortune. That's the mentality nowadays. I mean, maybe it's more prevalent in the United States. I'm from
Oh
Switzerland.
yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
but I think it's so revolting, and it's also a losing strategy, because in the end, these divorcee women, they end up alone, and they think they will always find someone better, but in the end, they're miserable. So it's very
And
sad.
also, I'll add to that. The, there's a term called gray divorce. A gray divorce is when a couple divorces after 50, right?
Mm.
And in fact, I have a video coming out next week about how gray divorces are more financially devastating to women, because women's income drops after a great divorce and the net worth and all this stuff. It's like, how about you stay with your husband?
100%. Yeah, I agree.
You're 55, 65 years old. Like it, and only like 13% of women who divorce after 55 ever get remarried.
But yeah, I mean, it's for me, it's insane that women do not understand the main reason why men get married. Men get married to have children.
Yep,
Okay,
family and legacy. Yep,
exactly. And if you already have children, you are almost surely not going to find a respectable husband. And if you are over the age of 35, you are almost invisible to a husband.
Yeah,
so
Jessica,
and they
Jessica,
don't know that.
That's it, man. Game over, man.
Game over.
Game over.
It's game over, dude.
And I mean, I mean, you've shown videos, your brother shown as well. How many divorce thinking they will find someone better when they have like 3 children, and they've been a stay-at-home mom, and they're like 43, and it's tragic. It's tragic, you know. And the husband immediately finds a new wife or a new girlfriend, you know, and the woman has nothing, you know. She just rides the carousel, and then she realizes that she effed up, you know. So
And popular culture says, "Oh, don't worry, you have your friends and you have your girls' trips and you have your career. That'll make you happy." I'm gonna give that a big
Nope.
Nope. Let's get through with this.
To catch up, it's crazy. Like, we got served the papers.
You know what's really, really sad, guys? I am black. I can say it. Look at this picture in the background. Look at this. She's married to a black dude. Guys, we have to do better, guys. We have to do better. Look at that, man. Come on.
Chest tattoo. That's insane.
Ugh, yikes.
Insane. Is that
It's
Manhattan?
crazy. Like, we got served the papers a week ago, and 7 days we replied to it. They told us no, the courts. So stress.
All I can say is
Dude,
eviction.
Sorry.
It's what eviction notices are. You get multiple warnings. Multiple warnings. Eviction notices that they give you 30 days to get out. How are these people acting like they're freaking blindsided by getting? And you know you're not paying rent. You know you're not paying rent. These people act like, "Oh, I was blindsided. I didn't know." I'm gonna give that a big
Nope.
Come on, guys. It's called eviction process for a reason. You know what? How long does the average eviction process take? It takes 30 days to a few months to complete a eviction process. So you are not caught off guard when this happens. What were you saying?
I was saying, first of all, they want to be victims every time, even when they're guilty. So that's why they do this. And what I don't understand, Doug, is how can they make videos about such embarrassing and shameful events? It's something which is for me so foreign. I mean, it's insane to tell everyone you've been evicted. It's as if you told everyone that you just threw up on the pavement last Saturday night. You know, it's absolutely shameful, and I think that's what we're lacking in society nowadays, is that there's no shame with these women, because they brought out without a father. You know, so yeah.
And I'll piggyback off that. There's so many stops to fail when it comes to women posting these videos. You have to grab your phone, open the app, set it up, hit the record button, and then hit the send button.
Yeah.
So it's like, why don't there's so many stops to fail? Like what, especially those viral videos. You're like, what made you think it was a good idea to post this video? And women do that a lot, man. They do that a lot.
For me, it's telling about the fact that they have no friends, or their life is so boring and mundane that they have the time to do something which is so pointless, and also which takes so much time. I mean, this is for me a clear sign that they're in a way there are a bunch of losers whenever I see that, getting evicted and making video about it. But anyway, yeah.
The thing about it is they're just modern women. Because
Yeah,
remember, modern women can be poor, middle class, upper middle class, rich. And now we're going to get into the concept of being house poor, guys. Once again, these are women that are spending more than 30%, 30 to 40 to 50% on their mortgage or their rent. So let's listen to this girl right here.
I bought a house when I was 26 and felt immediately.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Hold on one second.
I was living my best luxury lifestyle. I went to South Korea. I bought a house when I was 26 and fell immediately into poverty. Okay, when I lived with my parents, I was living my best luxury lifestyle. I went to South Korea, bought a 2,000 plane ticket, didn't even blink twice. I went shopping, luxury goods, all that. Was traveling, was just, I was living it up. I felt rich. I had no bills. And I had a full-time 9-to-5 job. I was working as a nurse. Okay, I was killing it. I bought my own house. That first mortgage payment came in and I was like, oh, this is a situation. But at first you think you can handle it, right? Like, what's a couple thou? What's a couple thou? I got it. But then.
So
what did she buy? A couple of thousand for a mortgage payment? She must have brought something absolutely out of her price range. I mean,
so I was watching, I was reading this article, and if I can find it, I'll do a video on it. But they're talking about all the reasons how women end up paying more for housing and be in worse housing situations than men. And of course, they had to bring up the wage gap.
Nope. Oh yeah, and the famous.
But they're talking about how they appeal to women's emotions when it comes to selling them stuff. So like a woman will buy a car that's not mechanically sound, but if it's the color she wants or like it looks cute, they'll buy it anyway. It's the same thing with houses. Realtors will literally be like, this is your house. This will show that you're strong and independent. All these different kind of ways to appeal to a woman's emotions, and that's a factor into why women end up paying more, or they'll buy houses that aren't
affordable.
Well, not only aren't affordable, but they'll buy a house where they have like an hour and a half long commute in the morning, or they'll buy a house that's like that may have problems with it, but it's like a nice color on the inside, or maybe the carpeting is nice, or the wall or something. But like women will forego logical decisions when it comes to purchasing a house if the realtor can appeal to their emotions. Girl, this has your vibe of energy, this house. Can't you just feel the home vibe energy in here? This is why a lot of women buy houses like this. And not only that, a lot of these women, they want to be strong and independent, and they think that the number one way to show that is to own a home at all costs. Guys, don't forget, the last 3.5 years have been the most toxic housing market in the last 25 years. High interest rates and high home prices, and people are buying houses anyway, especially women. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Pyro, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good, Doug. Jessica, how you doing?
Hi, Pyro. Glad to have you as well.
What do you think about this whole house poor thing?
Complete foolishness. Just imagine, like, you as a grown man going on camera and say, "Oh, they're gonna kick me out," and I didn't know that they gave me 30 days to kick me out. Do you know how much like the comment section would cook you? Like they would ask in the first place, why are you getting kicked out? Do you not make enough money? Why didn't you find a cheaper apartment? They're gonna ask you many questions, and you're gonna have to find answers for it. No excuses.
Yep, exactly. There are actually a couple of guys talking about the eviction process, and I'd be interested in looking at their comment section because I was trying to find these. I never looked at their comments. I may have to do that sometime. Because I'm telling you guys, we get no sympathy at all. None.
Mm-hmm.
It's your responsibility as a man to make sure that you have a roof over your head. And that's one of the reasons why, as guys, we live so simple. because we know that when we're kicked out, we have nowhere to go. It's going to be it's either ramen noodles and eggs, or we're out on the street. You know what I'm saying?
And yeah, Doug, also I think men know that something is out of their price range or it's too good to be true, you know. And also they know that given their current situation, they cannot afford something, you know. Like I know I cannot afford to buy a new Lamborghini, you know. But these girls, they just live in a deluded world where they are the hero, and where everything is going to be fine, you know. They get into debt thinking it will be forgotten, like stuff like that. I mean, it's absolutely insane. It's insane.
What does AJ say on his channel? Every woman is
a hero or a victim in her own story.
A hero and a victim of her own story. 100% true.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, guys. Story time. So you know, I live in the South, right? And I moved away from DC like 9 months ago, and I went out with a couple of girls. This one girl was 29 to 30 years old, and she had just got out of her master's program and had just got her first professional job. And she's making like, you know, like 55, 58,000 a year. And down south, you know, that's a pretty good chunk. But she was in her job for 3 months before she bought a house. 3 months.
What?
I said, what? So, because, you know, we lived about 2 hours apart. So I would come visit her on the weekends. You know, she was this cute young little thing. I was like, all right, cool. And she had this job where after she got settled in, she's gonna have to travel like 1 week in and 1 week out, 1 weekend and 1 week out. And I said, "Are you struggling to pay for this house?" She's like, "Yeah, because you know I get a pay raise in 6 months and blah blah blah." And this was in the summer of last year. Well, she thought that Sleepy Joe in the White House was going to forgive her student loans.
Yeah,
and when she found out that her student loans were going to be forgiven, she's like, "Oh my God, I don't know." Her student loan payment was going to be $650 a month. She's like, "I don't know how I'm going to get this done." I said, "You honestly thought that the weekend at Bernie's and the White House was going to forgive your student loans? I'm going to give that a big nope. Come on, you guys." So she's like, "I don't know how I'm going to do it." She's like, I can't get a second job during the week because you know I'm going to have to travel. So her and I stopped seeing each other because she had to get a second job on the weekends just to pay her mortgage, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then one more story time. I may have told this one already. So another girl that was 2 hours away. She's 31 years old. She bought a house in the suburbs of Atlanta, right? And she had a job in the downtown Atlanta area as some accounts receivable clerk at some company down there. And you know, I met her online, and she said, if you come into town, you have to tell me because I'm gonna have to move some stuff around for us to be able to see each other. I said, what are you talking about? She bought a house, right? And she was like, she had a bachelor's degree in some garbage, and so she's probably making like 37, 38, $40,000 a year. She had to do Instacart Wednesday, Thursday, Friday after work, and then Saturday for 8 hours and Sunday for 8 hours. You know, Instacart is the thing where you have the app, and then you go to you go to the grocery store to shop for people. She had to do that 5 days out of the week just to pay her mortgage, you guys. And she was 31 years old. And I say all this, you guys, because women like her who are house poor, you sign on to a 30-year loan. So this is the next 30 years of your life.
Yeah, not only that, but there's also sometimes like variable interest rates and stuff like that, which can completely destroy them, and they have no clue how the financial markets work. And all of a sudden, like they could be having to pay like 10,000 a month instead of 2,000 because it was a teaser rate when they signed the contract. It's for me, it's clear that they are paying the price of their ignorance, because when you sign such contracts, either for some debt for their studies, their worthless degrees, or a house, they always get into very bad situations, so yeah, and they'll have to pay the price.
And one last thing before I start the video again. You're not supposed to be doing this by yourself.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
not. See, men aren't, the majority of men aren't under any kind of illusion that we can live life by ourselves. But the majority of modern women are.
Doug, if I may, men could live by themselves if they wanted to, but women, they are not made for that. They cannot. I mean, not all, of course, but their main goal should be to secure a husband by being a desirable spouse. And every one of them has drank the feminist Kool-Aid, and now they're just paying the price of their vanity. It's very sad.
Yep, you got it.
Mm-hmm.
The pipes in my 80-year-old home broke immediately.
All right, let's rewind so we can remember what she's talking about.
That first mortgage payment came in, and I was like, oh, this is a situation. But at first you think you can handle it, right? Like, what's a couple thou? What's a couple thou? I got it. But then the pipes in my 80-year-old home broke immediately as soon as I bought the house. Wiped out my savings. Then another pipe in a different area of the house broke. Okay, I'm struggling. Okay, I need help. Then my neighbor's pipe, it was a twin house, her pipe broke. And she didn't believe that her pipe broke, but her pipe broke on my side of the house. So all of that water that was coming down was spraying into my home. And then my water heater broke. When I tell y'all, I went from living in the lap of luxury to destitute immediately. Now, don't get me to fooling y'all, because it was worth it in the long run, because that house is now worth like 2 times what it was worth then. So I'm actually doing pretty good. But at the time, when I tell you I was struggling, I had to go to my parents every other day for dinner because your girl could not feed herself.
And the sad part about house poor women, guys, is dating them is rough because women still expect a certain lifestyle, expect a certain courting phase, and because they can't afford to do anything for themselves, all of that is going to fall on you. So all of our entertainment is going to be the price of you getting in them draws.
And also, Doug, I understand that usually the man should take care of the finances, but the problem I see with most of like the videos that you show is that they are so ungrateful. They always try to hide what their boyfriend has done to help them. Like you had a video about like their consolidated debt and stuff like that. They always minimize what the boyfriend has done, and they just self-aggrandized their actions, and this is for me the most the most revolting thing is that the guys usually foot the bill, and they don't even have the gratitude and the graciousness to say thank you or to tell them that they've been helped by the man. They never mention him almost, they always try to be like, yeah, we have done it together. We have paid back my debt, stuff like that. And it's very, for me, it shows how pathetic they are. That's my take on it.
I agree with you 100%. Whiteout, thank you for always being here. He's one of the best avatars ever. You're speaking of a greater issue in society. Men don't get credit for anything. You know that 70% of American households, the man is the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Like, did you know that? Of course not, because women aren't going to say it. And then also, in a celebrity divorce, Dr. Dre gets divorced, has to give his ex-wife like $50 million. Well, she was there from the beginning. She wouldn't be what he is without her by his side. She's never written a beat.
No, it's a joke. They're thieves.
Yeah. All these football players, basketball players. Oh, well, she was there. She built him into who she is. Never kicked the ball into a goal. Never shot a basket. But then if it's on the other foot where where Kelly Clarkson loses $80 million in her divorce. How dare he do that to her? How dare he take her money?
I agree, Doug. However, if I may, I would not encourage men to live on the alimony of their wife. That's not what men should
I
do.
would. Are you crazy?
Yeah,
I
but
would.
it's shameful. I'm sure you wouldn't live well.
No,
Like,
man, yo,
come on,
no.
it's not. It's
Let
not.
me.
Would you encourage your son to be on some kind of parasite and leech
Okay.
from? It's.
Okay.
I
Let me
understand
tell you.
the vengeance aspect of it, so like eye for an eye. But I think we should hold ourselves to a higher level.
Look,
That's my point.
Jessica. I, I I live that petty life, man. You know what? I'm one petty mofo, man. So I think that the days of men. Look, men should take the higher ground for the greater of society. But like
Also for themselves.
when it comes to intersexual dynamics, uh, like we used to take the higher ground, and women call that patriarchy. Men
Yeah,
have to fight fire with fire now, man. Let me tell you the only scenario where I think that a man should take alimony. If a man and a woman meet in college, and they get married, they both go out into the world. You know what, guys? Tell me what you think about this in the chat, and if you're watching this afterwards, in the comments. But man, woman get married. They both become professionals, right? And then the guy, gets into a job making like $50,000 a year, or 60,000 or 70,000, and like his wife becomes a nurse and makes like 60,000, and then she becomes a nurse practitioner and makes like 100,000, or like or 150, and then a gray divorce happens. So they're together for like 20 years and something happens and they get divorced. If like if it didn't start out with the wife making more and it wasn't a parasitic relationship like you're talking about, I don't think that a man should date a woman for her money. But if you and your woman start off at the starting line and she ends up making more money than you and she wants to leave you after 20 years, you better take that alimony, guys. Take it.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I understand. Like, we have this kind of enjoyment when we see women take an L in alimony because it's so rare.
Yeah, boy.
We do. But however, I mean, I would never want to be like a Kevin Federline or the guy who divorced Adele or something like that. I'd be embarrassed. I mean, you go into the street and you're like you're being maintained by a woman. That's the opposite of what a man should be in his life.
But hold
I
on, though.
agree.
Adele's husband was with her before she hit it big. She was married before she got famous, and then Kelly Clarkson too.
No, I agree. I'm just saying it's not something which we should strive to become welfare queens on alimony. It's that's not the path of a man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
But I understand the pleasure we take from some kind of justice from time to time when it's on the other end.
But then also, here's the thing, man. Like, there will always be Chads and Tyrones out there. There will always be Chad Chaddington and Tyrone Thunderstroke out there, and women are gonna go after those kind of guys and marry those kind of guys. And it's only a small percentage of men, but like it's like when in the black community, like 53-54% of black men have no kids, and like 28% of us are married. Like only 20% of men are getting all these women pregnant. And like, what can the majority of men who are doing the right thing and not getting all these women pregnant? How can we stop that 20 to 18% of men getting all these women pregnant? We can't. It's up to the women to not lay down with these men in the first place.
Yeah.
Women, I don't think a woman should marry a guy who makes less than her. If it's a situation where, like I said, they started off equal, entering into the workforce, and she made more money in the marriage eventually down the line, that's okay. But if you're a woman and you're out here and you make like $80,000 a year, like I mean, I don't think a woman should be with a guy who's shorter than her or a guy that makes less money. But that's just me. Call me old school.
I would disagree on the short part because it's something which the man cannot change, his height. However, he can change his success in a way. And I'm not a short guy, I'm a tall guy, but I find it unfair. But I understand, in a way, I understand women who want to have the tallest guy possible, but it's always for their vanity. They want to show off their husband to their girlfriends, and even if she's 5 foot, she wants a 6'5" guy like anyone, and it's really in a way they're setting themselves up for failure, because in the end there's not enough men to satisfy this desire, and they will all end up with the dog alone. So yeah,
I agree. Pyro, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, yeah, but the thing is, for me, still, for me, I wouldn't date somebody who's taller than me. But that's just me still. Like, and I think you should make at least a little bit more money than than your woman, because
you should because otherwise it's
yeah,
going to be problems.
If you want to get the kind of respect that you deserve, when no one deserves anything, but like if you want the type of respect that a man should have, you should make more money than your woman.
Yeah,
you should be taller too, because here's I honestly believe this. And wait, let me say it. Mr. Albert says my ex-wife got getting that $325K house. Is there alimony? Ouch, my bro. Yikes. Adam May says, why is a husband penalized for staying in the marriage to raise the kids? It only means he'll have to pay alimony longer. I agree. And then Mr. Albert says, what's the point of getting married if the relationship is all about money? I don't know, buddy. Ask women that. So I'll say, oh man, I read these chats and I lost my train of thought.
Can I just
go ahead?
take
go ahead.
a tangent quickly. I think a lot of the times marriage is not well understood by women, because first of all, marriage is the highest honor a man can offer a woman. He asks for your hand in marriage, so he gives you your his family name. In a broad way of saying, there's nothing more valuable than your family name, if we're a little bit let's say symbolic. And the fact that women not only divorce husbands and think it's okay, so it's for me it's a failure 100% on the woman, because men are not by nature meant to settle down. They're the only ones who settle down are men. No woman settles down. Women are want to nest, but men by nature, they want to just spread their genes. And it's an honor for one man to say, okay, this woman is good enough for me to settle down. I will offer her the highest honor, which is to ask her for her hand in marriage. And then the woman should pay back this honor by taking his family name. So everything that is hyphenated is a slap in the face to the husband.
It is. Okay? I've said it multiple times.
I completely agree with you. And secondly, the highest honor a woman can give to a man is to offer him children. So if she's a single mom, she has absolutely ruined everything that is worthwhile for a husband. So yeah, that's why I say, and the fact, whenever I hear a woman say I want to settle down, it makes absolutely no sense. For me, it's like a man saying, I breastfed my child today. You cannot breastfeed. It's only the woman who can.
It's true. It's true. Jessica's got bars up in here, man. Good Lord, the wide stage.
No, really. I know. Do you agree with my analysis?
Yep.
Yes,
I agree.
I agree.
Especially the freaking single mom part, man, because I got to give that the.
You let him hit it raw. You didn't have second
and
thoughts. Now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom.
If you've had another guy's kids, man, it's just so hard to reconcile with, especially like marrying a woman in 2024, man. Like
it's absurd.
It's just, oh man, it's I can't do it. I won't. And and it's funny because I still have I've a good test when you go out with a woman, guys, is first off, Racy Gamer, good to see you, man. Marriage should be for people actively wanting to raise kids. I don't see why people who are from the same country would marry in this day and age instead of just staying in a long-term relationship. 100% true. Guys, when you're on a date with a woman, say, you know what? I don't date single moms. And just say it and see what she says, because there's nothing more foolish than a woman who was smart enough to not be a baby mama defending baby mama culture. Well, so why wouldn't you date a baby mom? You're so close-minded. You don't have any kids, and I don't have any kids either. What are you even talking about this for?
Yeah, it shows how little they understand men, and yeah, that's for me a red flag, because yeah, I lost my train of thought, but yeah, I agree with you, Doug, on this one for sure. Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Pyro, go ahead.
Yeah, to me, like when I see a woman just look at other women having children out of wedlock and suffering, she just look at she just look at that and say that won't happen to me, and then it happened to her. Like they don't learn from each other's action.
Yeah, and for me, this is the consequence of the single mother effect in a way, because single mothers, by definition, they do not have a husband at home, so there is no father, and when there's no father, then there's no in a way wisdom within the home. So women are not, well, in a way, daughters are not taught by their mothers that their most precious thing to keep is their womb, and not to make a baby with anyone. It should be a trade, meaning she will give you children if you give her resources and a home by marriage, and the fact that they have so many baby mothers who do not have a husband means they got bamboozled by the man, because they offered him the child, but they got nothing in return,
Yep.
And it's just for me a failure, and it's the consequence of lack of father
And that's the thing. You're talking about, we all enjoy women taking L's. There's no bigger L, no more visually apparent L than being a single mom and having a bastard child walking around. It's like everything that's against what a man who's paid the cost to be the boss stands for.
Yeah.
Especially if look, if you have a kid, you have to make concessions. But if you don't have a kid, there's no reason why. The little kid is her walking, talking L, her walking, talking failure.
Yeah.
And it's going to be your problem.
And they try to glorify it, but deep down they know they failed. How many times have you heard a media who will shame a single mother? And that's I remember what I want to say is that my opinion is that we need to bring back shame into society, because nowadays we glorify failure in women. And sorry.
The thing about it is they always talk about shame like it was just on women. If men weren't good men in society, if men weren't married, if men didn't have kids, like you should not be able to get into you couldn't get high up in the military if you weren't married and had a family. You couldn't get into middle management of corporate America if you weren't married and had a family. Law enforcement, they were married. Military, the military still pushes marriage. So there is shame on the men's side too. The only reason why rich men can be bachelors is because they remove themselves from the average man who would shame them for not having. Why do you think they call the rich single guys playboys?
And also, Doug, it's. I mean, women do not understand that they have a duty towards society to have children, because otherwise we're going towards extinction. So the
it's
fact
gonna
that
be like Japan.
Yeah, no, exactly. And they always what always tells me a lot is that they always talk about societal pressure and stuff like that, as if it was something which is to their detriment. But society has told women, you must marry young, you must have a husband, and you must have children. That is what society is based on. And they think it's oppression and that it goes against their freedom. And they end up doing the opposite, and they end up being miserable, so because all they had to do is listen.
Yep. Let me get back onto this house poor thing, because I have this woman here says, I regret buying a house. Why? I would have saved money if I'd rented longer. So there, guys, there are certain housing markets right now where it is better to rent, because the housing prices are supposed to crash either like into this year or like early next year. And I know Denver is one of them. Washington D.C. and the DMV is right now. Austin, Texas is. So this woman is going to talk about why she should have rented longer. She says, many young professionals today feel pressure to stop throwing away money on rent and become homeowners as soon as possible. The reality, however, is that homeownership brings with it increased financial burdens and restrictions that renters often fail to adequately consider. Okay, Go Bank and Rates spoke with 33-year-old Sarah, who deeply regrets rushing into buying her first home last year. Still in the first year of a 30-year mortgage. This is what I keep telling you guys. They're signing onto this struggle for 30 years, guys. Sarah details how unexpected maintenance costs, rising interest rates, lack of flexibility, and the overall house poor feeling led to an extreme case of homeowners remorse.
But
when Sarah, go ahead.
Yes, sorry. No, I want to just interject. You see, here they do not understand what a rising interest rate is, first of all, and then secondly, they want a 33-year-old to buy a house when they just maybe graduated from with a worthless degree. I mean, buying a house is one of the most important decisions in your life, and the fact that you are taken aback by the contract you have signed shows that they don't care. They just do whatever feels right.
I saw this TikTok, right, where this lady, she's a real estate agent, Black woman, and she was showing this house. She's like, look, guys, the person that owned this house before was house poor and could barely pay the mortgage. So all the maintenance, none of the maintenance was done. It needs new siding. It needs a new roof. It needs a new water heater. Jessica, you're talking about these variable mortgages. I'm talking, she's on a 30-year fixed and she can barely afford it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even have to go up and she still can't afford it.
Yeah.
These women just think, you know what? Somehow I'm going to make more money. Somehow this, somehow that. It's like, no, you're not. The average American woman, the average American salaried woman makes like $44,000 a year, but the average woman makes about $35,000 a year, and you're not going to make any more than that. So this is going to be, unless she gets married, this is going to be her life for the next 30 years, you guys.
But
30 years.
Doug, do you know that history repeats itself? And 10 years ago, you had exactly the same problem, which has caused a country crisis, worldwide crisis because of this, and it shows how women are absolutely ignorant on the past and on history, basically, because they should know that it's absolutely catastrophic to buy a house which you cannot afford. This completely destroys your future, and they just do it because they want to say that they're strong and independent, even if they cannot afford it. It's all how should I say that? It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. Yep. They want to give the illusion.
It's a house of cards, man. And like that girl I told you about who worked a full-time job 8 to 5 and then did Instacart Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Women's bodies break down from all that stress, guys. Men's bodies were meant for stress. Women were not. And all it takes is one thing to happen. The whole thing falls apart. The whole thing.
Yeah, and also
one sickness, one family emergency, this one, and the whole thing falls apart. And if she stays by herself, she's not going to get this paid off until she's 63. This Sarah girl. You mean tell me that she's not going to get sick and not going to have some kind of medical emergency or something like that? Come on, guys. No. It says, when Sarah bought her first home last year in the Chicago suburbs, she thought she was making a smart investment into her future. Here you go, guys. All of my friends were buying houses, and I guarantee you most of her friends are women. And I just felt like it was time for me to stop renting and put down roots, she shared. But just a year into homeownership, Sarah is filled with regret over her decision to buy for several different reasons. It seemed like the right move. Like many first-time buyers, Sarah rushed into purchasing a home without fully considering all the additional costs involved. That's just like the luxury car market, guys. A lot of people that own BMWs and Mercedes, they can barely afford the car payment. So they're not doing any maintenance. So watch out if you want to get a used Mercedes or a used BMW. You guys be careful.
Also, Doug,
go ahead.
why do you buy a house? You buy a house to raise a
live in
family,
it.
not to raise a family with your husband. At no point in this speech, in this article, a husband or a man has been mentioned. So they are buying stuff they do not need, which serves, which they don't. They will buy a house for maybe, I don't know, 2 bathrooms and for like 5 rooms, stuff like that, when they don't even have a husband. Their number one priority is to first get a man. That's it. Not to buy this and live in it alone by themselves. It's absolutely a clown world for me.
Yep, and just debt is new slavery, you guys. Student loan debt in particular. It just forces you to work and work and work and work and work, and these mortgages are too. It's just like you gotta look.
Do it alone. You don't do it alone. You have to do it as a couple. You have to buy a house with someone. You know.
I'm 43 years old. I've never bought a property. I want to do so like next year, but I had to be upwardly mobile, you guys. You know, I started my career in Washington. You know, but I've had jobs in like 7 different states. I moved all around from my current to move up the ladder at my current job. So what? Pennsylvania, Nevada, Arizona, DC, Baltimore, you know, all these places. And like I wouldn't be able to be mobile if I had a house. Now people were like, "Oh, you can just get a property management company." But what if you can't find someone to pay a mortgage on your other house? And people don't understand how much goes into being a landlord. And dealing with these people messing up your house, they won't move out. In fact, guys, during the cough when all those moratoriums were passed and people got to live in houses not paying rent for a whole year.
That's crazy.
You're a landlord and you don't get rent to pay your mortgage from a renter for a whole year, and it's legally protected, you guys.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I'm gonna buy an investment property and rent it out. Are you sure about that? You sure? You have enough income to pay that mortgage if you don't have someone renting that house? You better. And a lot of people don't. Garrett Grant in the house. Always good to see you, my friend. Yeah, so just think twice about investment properties and buying a house when you're young and stuff, because who knows what could happen. A lot of people got burned during 2020 and 2023. She says, my real estate agent told me not to worry about the high interest rates and that I could always refinance later. Oh my God.
Jesus H. Christ.
So she went into it thinking I could just refinance later. The mortgage broker I was working with made everything you see so simple. Of course they did, because just like a car salesman, all they want you to do is sign on the dotted line. It seemed like the right move. All of my money would be going towards owning something rather than just paying rent every month. What Sarah didn't account for were expenses like closing costs, repairs, higher utility bills, homeowners, and insurance premiums. As soon as I moved into the house, things started breaking. The AC unit went out the first month, and then I had plumbing issues a few months later. I've easily spent over $5,000 in repairs and maintenance in my first year of owning this house. On top of unexpected repairs, Sarah is also now responsible for mowing the lawn, shoveling snow, cleaning gutters, chores that were handled by her landlord when she rented. Or, guys, who should be doing that if she was married?
A man.
Her husband. Now she has to do it by herself. You're not supposed to do it by yourself, ladies. You're not supposed to do it. It says sticker shock sets in. On top of high monthly costs, Sarah has also been blindsided by maintenance expenses, homeowners insurance premiums, and other unforeseen costs of homeowner.
Blindsided.
Yep,
Blindsided.
I
That's
know.
you know for sure that it's a woman who wrote this article, because it's something which is
Yeah.
absolutely predictable, foreseeable, and you can in a way insure yourself against it. But they are so bent or on avoiding any type of accountability that they just present it in some kind of mystical way. I've been blindsided by the fact that the house deteriorates over time. I mean, come on, you know.
It just came out of nowhere.
I mean, and all of a sudden I had to pay interest on a loan. I mean, and it's not canceled. I mean, I thought a loan was a gift. You know, that's how they think. You know,
Yeah. So
completely
pretty much
out of,
what Jessica's saying to Sarah is,
yeah,
what a sad story.
grow up. That's it, yeah.
She says, I super regret locking myself into a 30-year mortgage with massive monthly payments at such a young age. So once again, her interests aren't going to go up and down. They're going to be locked in, but she can't even afford it now. In just the first year, Sarah estimates she had spent over $10,000 more than she budgeted for. This extreme financial burden has led to serious doubts that she made the right choice by buying a home. Now I cringe every time I see the mortgage rates go up, knowing my friends who are still renting can easily move or downgrade apartments. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't bought a house yet. I'm stuck in this house I can barely afford.
Also note that she always compares herself to their friends. I mean, that's who cares? Who cares if your friends do this? You have to do what's good for you. But they cannot. They have to be in competition with the Jones. You know, it's very.
Yes.
Adam A says, not her husband would have eaten a bullet at this point. Carlos says, the article writer writes these responsibilities like they're huge surprises. Those are standard responsibilities. 100% true. What were you saying, Pyro?
No, I was laughing a while ago. That was funny.
Yeah, man. Yep. He says, looking back, Sarah said that she underestimated both the responsibility and inflexibility of owning property long term. When things break now, it's on me to fix them. As a renter, maintenance issues were my landlord's problem,
Wow.
and I definitely look for granted. I definitely took for granted being able to move somewhere new every year or two without any hassle. She explained. Owning this home already feels more restrictive than freeing. There it is, guys. Like I said before, we are in an upwardly mobile society. You could get you could be living in Texas and get offered a job in California, or all these you could be living in California and want to move out of there. And if you buy a house, you're stuck.
Yeah. No, they are buying a house. It's like someone buying a dog house when they don't have a dog. You know, that's what they're doing. They are buying a house when they don't have a husband to raise a family with. So it's absolutely it's void of any meaning. You know.
Are you calling men's dogs?
No, I just
Are you calling husbands dogs? That is.
we work like them. We work like them.
Right, exactly. It says, so what advice does Sarah have for renters thinking about taking the home buyer lead? Rent longer than you think you need to, she shared. I thought I was being smart by buying a house at 33, but I clearly wasn't financially or mentally ready for the commitment. And she's going to get a round of applause for her honesty. It says, so this real estate advisors echoes Sarah's advice. Spend time thoroughly evaluating your financial readiness for homeownership. Consider all the additional expenses involved beyond just the mortgage payment. This person also suggests renters build a sizable emergency fund before purchasing from one homeowner to another. There'll always be unexpected expenses. always have a financial cushion when it comes to owning a home. For Sarah, she wishes she had heeded warnings from her parents and close friends to give ownership a bit more time. But you can't tell these women anything.
I'm strong and I'm
Nothing.
independent, and I know no, I don't need no help from nobody.
Yep.
That's what you're gonna hear.
Yep. Yeah. You just want me to be dependent on a man. You want me to wait till marriage. I can do it all by myself. How's that going for you? It says, I was in a rush to stop throwing my money away on rent, but really, renting gave me so much more flexibility. I'm now house poor for a property that, frankly, I don't even see myself wanting to live in long term, you guys.
Jesus H.
How about you sell the house? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, she could.
She could.
But the worst part about it is, I would hope that she would get what she got back in repairs in equity.
Yeah.
Because she's already like $20,000 down. No, $15,000 down. So she should stay in it, unless she can get the equity back.
No, but Doug, you don't understand. How will she then face her friends at brunch when she will say that she pays rent?
True.
I mean,
it's true.
How she already doesn't have the wedding ring.
Wait,
now she doesn't have a
wait.
house.
Brunch is expensive. Brunch costs money. How's she gonna afford to go to brunch with this house?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the next question.
It says, her biggest piece of advice: rent as long as you can stand it. Homeownership might seem like goals, but the financial commitment is not.
What I don't understand is also, why is a woman giving advice? Why is a woman writing an article? And why is a woman being a real estate advisor? I mean, this everything here is bound for failure. There's Laura Beck. Thank you, Laura. You've just shown everyone how much of let's say lack of wisdom you have. And then she should have listened to her parents. I mean, it's absolutely sad.
And don't forget, we need women like Laura Beck, because women aren't going to listen to us men. So someone has to write it. Because if this were a man writing this, how much traction would he get? See, these problems are becoming blatant gendered issues. Student loan debt in America is a gendered issue.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah. I know, right? I got to get that sound effect. 120,000 more single women own homes than the single men, and it's literally changing the face of the housing market. That's why there's so many townhomes and condos being built, because they're planning on single women buying them, not families and single men.
Yeah,
it's crazy, you guys.
Also, until you have paid off your mortgage, you do not own anything. You're just present in the house. So they're not even like true owners. A real flex would be to say you have no mortgage. That's the end of.
Reggie Gamer says, Doug, you've been had. She obviously gets brunch money from her orbiters. Hey, you know what? It could be true. There are women on TikTok who coach women on how to get men to buy them dinner every single day of the week to save on expenses.
How sad is that?
It's the reality. CVM says she's upside down on that house. I guarantee you, 100%. Reggie Gamer says she would have just blamed her parents if she decided to continue to rent. 100% true. My parents are holding me back and don't want me to be my own person. Blah 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 blah. Something like that. So let's get back to the TikTok show. Let's see what this woman has to say.
Right. Last October, I posted a video about
not
go through with purchasing the home that I was gonna.
She said something that.
Get back to the.
Right. Last October, I posted a video about why I decided to not go through with purchasing the home that I was gonna.
She said something that I often tell my friends. I too was about to purchase a home last year, and I just couldn't go through with it because my main thing was that I don't want to be house poor. It did not make sense to me. And as a millennial, we know that buying a home is really the signature to your next chapter in life, right?
No.
It's a special moment.
No,
Yep.
no. The signature to your next chapter is to be married. That's
Yep.
it.
I agree. Because guys, I believe in that stat where if you have a household income of $200,000 or more, the divorce falls like 20% instead of like 50%. I honestly believe that. So like, guys, get your money up.
And not on
Most guys, the majority of men are still gonna get married. You know, a lot of red pill channels. Oh, don't get married. Don't get married. Yeah, come on, guys, stop capping. At least 50% of men are gonna get married. So the best way to give yourself the best chance, try to have a household income of over $200,000 a year, and you have an 80% chance of staying together. What were you saying?
No, I was saying that. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Good.
Moment. It's something that you should celebrate yourself in, and you should find it as a big moment. But a lot of us just feel when we weigh the pros and cons, having a home really means buying it, signing your name on the dotted line, and then being house poor. And yes, I'm someone who believes you should not live above your means and consider, going to a place that is more affordable, but I live in the DMV.
Yeah. The DMV is Columbia, DMV, Maryland, and Virginia. It's one of those expensive housing markets in the U.S. What were you saying, Jessica?
I was saying what you said before about having money to ensure you keep your marriage. It's true because, like, for instance, basketball players, when they retire, like there's a 70% divorce rates among them. So it shows how much women value money. But it's also our duty to pick a worthy woman, because not any woman can be a wife and a spouse. Just like not any man can be an airplane pilot. It's something which you have to have some kind of education and skills, because and women, they think they can all be wives, and they understand absolutely nothing about what men value, what is important to us, and then they end up divorcing, and they end up alone. So yeah, it's very we need to get back to tradition. That's my advice.
Yep, I agree, man. And first off, B Dub that's making sense up in here. I got to give that a round of applause.
That's very rare to see.
Because yeah, man. Go ahead, Pyro. Go ahead.
That's like a needle in the cornfield.
That's like a needle in a weave stack.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, man. Okay, so that girl and then this girl right here. Let's see what's going on with her.
No, because tell me why I didn't even think about blinds for the new house. I don't have money for blinds. I can't. Do you know how expensive blinds are? We do. We can just do curtains, right? Like, even curtains, I think to do curtains for the whole house is going to be at least a few $100s. But it's better than thousands. Like, I didn't even think about it. There's just shit that pops up, and I'm like, I can't afford blinds. Like, I don't even know how much they will be, but they look expensive. Obviously, it depends on how many windows and stuff you have. But, like, my mathematics, I'm like, that's a lot of money. A lot of money that I don't have because I'm spending.
Go ahead.
Did you know that the house needs furniture? Clearly she didn't.
And blinds in front of the windows. She has to do curtains instead of blinds.
Yeah. And the fountain. Where would we put the fountain, Doug? And what about the zoo? I mean, and the jacuzzi. I mean, how can I clean the jacuzzi?
I know. And what about the gold-plated statue of myself?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What about that?
And the angelic angels who piss in the fountain. I mean,
I know, right? And the painting on the ceiling of the chapel.
Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Spending all my money on this house. So, like, what is the cheap girl version of that? Curtains, right? Like, you just get a curtain rod. I didn't even think about it. I did not even think about blinds. Not 1 second. And I'm closing on the house in no, I can't have that money by 2 weeks from now. Also, how did our parents afford this shit? Because, like, now that it's just all adding up, I'm like,
They were two. You are one. That's
I exactly. And here's the thing, like, I have 2 words for this woman: Microsoft Excel. How do you not put this stuff on an Excel sheet? They give you the raw numbers. You have to do the calculations. How do these women end up in it's look, math is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's just numbers. And these women sign on the dotted line anyway. Like, how do you, guys? Oh, I just can't.
And my final appraisal hasn't even come back yet. So if the appraisal comes back higher than what the house is worth, no, I'm sorry. If the appraisal comes back lower than what I'm buying the house for, I have to pay that difference. And I kind of knew that was a possibility because I did my upgrades, like options appointment, and I went over about $4,000, and they made me sign a form saying, hey, you're over $4,000. If the appraisal like is different, you are going to have to come cash to close with this difference.
Did you hear that, you guys? So what happened was, because here's the thing: when you buy a house in the United States, you a brand new house, you they take you to the place, and just like a car, you can get upgrades to your house, and that's how they get a lot of people, man. You know what? I want granite countertops, and I want you know uh you know this super special kind of carpet, and the kind of paint on the walls and all of this stuff. Whatever, you can go over a lot if you get every single option for your house. And they'll just be like, yeah, sure. Yeah, take this and take that and take this. And all of a sudden there's $15, $20, $30,000 added onto the price of your house. It's crazy.
Now, where I might be slightly lucky is they are selling my exact floor plan for $20,000 more than what I'm buying it for, like the basic floor plan. But as for the upgrades, they're still selling the floor plan for more than the total cost of the house with my upgrades. So that's where I might get really lucky because it's in the same neighborhood, and it actually, the appraisal might come back higher than what they're selling me the house for. But if it doesn't, like, I have to come with that difference, which is okay. We're getting the house no matter what. But
Wait. She said we, so she could be married. I haven't seen her hand. I haven't seen her left hand, so maybe she's married. Maybe she's not.
My theory. Sorry, Doug. My
Go
theory
ahead.
here is that I don't know about you, but would you make a video telling everyone about your blinds and how your taxes or how? No, because it's boring and nobody cares. But since they are alone, they just go to TikTok because they think it replaces social interaction and friends, because they don't have the husband. So my idea is that any woman who has this kind of let's say video is not married, because otherwise she'd talk it with her husband and she wouldn't need to make a video to bore everyone to death from the front from seat of her car. It's
You guys know that in a marriage, a man spends his social energy inside the marriage, and a woman spends more of her energy to maintain social relationships outside of the marriage. Isn't that crazy? So imagine this, Pyro, Jessica. You and your wife are married, and they're happy, and your wife has a bunch of single ass harpy ass friends. And she's taking emotional energy that she'd be emotional and nurturing energy that she should be putting towards you, what you guys have going on, my friends need help and they're all single and they need me.
And if you say something, you would be controlling and toxic and everyone.
Yep.
And
You're a misogynist. Crazy. He's trying to control you, girl. He won't let you come out on girls' trips or come out to the club and stuff. He's trying to control you. You're married. You're out of that. That's why they say single women keep women single and will make a married woman single. Don't let your wife hang out with single ass harpy ass friends, guys. Don't do it.
Also, she should know that what counts the most is her relationship with her husband, not with her single friends. So if she's smart, she would always put the husband first. But do they? Nope.
Okay. There is a video going around where this guy this this woman and her husband got married, and they were going to go on their honeymoon, but then uh but then uh she found out that her sister was in the hospital and was about to give birth, and there were complications with her sister's pregnancy. And so he went on the honeymoon by he went on the honeymoon by himself, right?
That's strange. Yeah.
You know what? I got it right here. Tell me what you think about this.
But did they still end up married or?
Okay, let's do this.
Ah, that's beautiful. Already the title.
Oh no. Okay, here it is. Look. Hey, listen.
Friend in less than 3 weeks, and let me just tell you guys, we're out on this beautiful island. I'm trying to have a good time.
Oh wait. Oh no. I'm sorry. This is the wrong one. This is messed up though, because this is my sister is marrying my ex-boyfriend. Yikes. Anyway, I thought I had it, but maybe not. Anyway, I'll tell you the story. So this woman and her husband got married, right? And they were going to go on their honeymoon, and then the woman's sister was about to give birth and had to go to the hospital because she had a complicated pregnancy. So she stayed behind to go to the hospital to see her sister and make sure she was okay. And her husband went on the honeymoon by himself because it was non-refundable, right? Now, you may be thinking, oh, she had to be there for her sister. Her sister was married, had a husband. And she foregoed the honeymoon that was unrefundable to go to the hospital and be with her sister and her family because her sister was going through a difficult birth with
To
her
be
child.
fair, it's a lose-lose because I would not enjoy myself if I knew that my sister was about to die. I wouldn't be able to enjoy my honeymoon, and I understand also the non-refund. For me, it's just a sad situation. You know, I don't know what to blame. To be honest,
So then, what would you do?
if I was the husband or the I mean, for me, I would put
You were the
family
husband.
first, and I would disregard. I don't know how much that cost a honeymoon. How much is it? 5,000, maybe more. I'd say for me, it's more important to be close to your relatives. It's my opinion, and I wouldn't, if I knew that my sister was about to die, I would not be able to enjoy myself. I would want to be with her, so I would disregard the honeymoon for no problem.
I think it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it's hard to decide. It's a sad situation, in my opinion.
See, I don't know, man, because, like, okay, she
I wouldn't blame her for wanting to be with her sister. That's for sure.
But you know, I'm not a religious guy, but you're supposed to leave and cleave, man. Like, she is like that woman had her sister has her husband. You know, and hold up a second, hold up, baby. She just got married. She's starting her life with the man. So she's showing her husband, look, her husband wanted to go. So she should have said, look, I'm going to follow my husband because they have their own stuff. A woman should say, look, I'm choosing my husband because I'm leaving and cleaving from my family. Now, her sister didn't die. Everything turned out okay. But, like,
yeah, but wait.
Hold on. She has to show her husband, look, it's you and I. I respect your decision. Remember, she is just entering into a marriage and life with this man. She should be going on with any decision he wants to make. So she's telling her husband, look, my family comes over you. Because, hold on, just real quick.
Yeah,
you could say her sister being in trouble, and having problems with the birth. It doesn't happen every single day. It's a rare occurrence. Yeah, but so is her getting married to her new husband. People have more kids than they do marriages. So what takes priority? Her sister who's married and has her husband, there and the freaking parents and stuff there to support her, or this maybe once in a lifetime marriage honeymoon deal. And I
Yeah.
would argue that her getting married and her husband and leaving and cleaving is more important than her sister's birth. If this just would have been any regular Sunday or some vacation, but she just got married to this guy, their honeymoon, they're freaking consummating their marriage, you and me forever. That doesn't happen every day. That should take priority over her sister giving birth with her husband and her family.
Well, Doug, if I may, that there's a difference between, for example, leaving and cleaving. Like if the husband had found a new job and she wanted to stay for her sister, which would prevent the husband from getting the job, here I would understand that she should go with the husband to the new job. Okay, but we're talking about a honeymoon, which for me it's a little bit symbolic, but it's not in a way concretely against the sacred bond of marriage. You know, it's just something which they can do maybe later on. So I would just I would just separate these two things between going on holiday and not following your husband towards your new home. You know, it's two separate things, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree to disagree, because look, man, like
But I
her
see your point.
sister.
I see your point. It's
Yeah,
just, for me, it's sad. It's sad. It's a sad situation.
yeah, her sister got out of this dating market. Her husband did all that work to marry this chick. Do you realize? Look, guys, I've been married before. You know how much work it takes to court a woman and marry a woman? A lot.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
lot.
Yeah, and actually I agree, Duke, because the honeymoon is paid by the husband, and the fact that he has invested money in it and she does not, in a way,
Reciprocate.
accept this gift. I now I understand. Maybe
Because,
I'm a little bit more to your side than I was before.
because here's the thing.
You're right.
Here's the
It's
thing.
a part of lack of loyalty.
I wish I could find this. Where the heck did I send it? But um um look, the husband wasn't just being an asshole. Okay, he had to have done a cost benefit analysis and said, look, he probably heard what was really going on, the amount of people, because he's probably like, look, like even if you go there, like what are you gonna do? Stand around? And then, during the cough, there was a lot of hospitals where, if there's a newborn baby around, there can only be two people. There can be two designated people to support this woman that can be in the hospital room at any given time. So what are you gonna do? Like, forego your honeymoon to sit out in the waiting room just to say you were there?
I agree.
She
You have a
has
good
her
point.
husband. Her husband is supposed to lay down his life for her, be there for her, sleep in the hospital for days, give his life to save hers. Her sister doesn't have to do that anymore. If she were single, I would still disagree. But she has her husband.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's also a sign of loyalty and a commitment to the husband to follow him and not go against his wishes, because clearly the husband said we are going on the honeymoon, and she already went against him. So that doesn't bode well for the marriage, because a woman should not go against the husband.
So a man goes viral
Wait,
on
I found it. I found it. Let's go.
So a man goes viral on Reddit because he went on his vacation because her sister went into labor during their wedding. And let me explain why I don't think he's completely wrong. So let me give you a little backstory. So the bride is actually the older sister who.
Wait, so Conquering Wander says, I agree with Doug. I was married 100%. Best question to ask, who paid for the wedding? And then Carlos says, honeymoons are not cheap, and I've never met a guy who wanted to spend a whole lot of dough on it, and men do it for women 100%.
Who acts very motherly towards the little sister, especially since their mother actually passed away.
First off, she has really nice. Are these dreads? I think these are dreads. They actually look really nice. I gotta agree creditors do.
But their father is still alive. He remarried and all that, but he's still in the picture. So anyway, at their wedding, the little sister goes into premature labor. And of course, they rush to the hospital to be with her. But the new husband had planned this elaborate and very expensive, non-refundable honeymoon, complete with couples massages, romantic excursions, dune buggies, deep sea fishing. Like all of this time and money and energy went into planning, and it's non-refundable. She stayed to be with the little sister. Now, my only thing is, if the little sister was alone or had no one to be there to support her, I would understand why she would want to stay. But get this, little sister is married. She got a whole husband. So it's not like she would be alone. She would be with her husband. When they talk about forsaking all others, this is what they mean. I feel like the new bride is only seeing things from her own point of view. She's mad at her new husband for going on the honeymoon without her, but he could have been upset with her for not going on the honeymoon at all. This is not the way you want to start off spending your life together, with you deciding that you're going to blow him off for someone else. It doesn't matter if that was your sister. Forsaking all others. Just like how you always want to come first in his life, maybe he also wanted to come first in yours.
There you go.
Can I say something?
Hold on. Let me give her a round of applause. Because I 100% agree. Go ahead.
I was saying, now that I've heard and thought about it, I completely agree with you, Doug. And also I changed my position. I think she should have went with the husband. And also, let's remind ourselves that whenever a woman tells a story, they always exaggerate and present it in a way to make it as tragic and as dramatic as possible. You know, so here you have a premature birth. It happens very often, and it's also something which we should take into account. So I agree with you.
So look, it says, if the sister was in critical condition or danger, I would have stayed. Other than that, I'm off to the honeymoon. And she said premature birth. There's the baby's gonna be there when y'all get back, and you have FaceTime. I would have made my sister go on the honeymoon no matter what. Why didn't she come a day later? Missing the whole honeymoon is crazy. I beat my sister's baby after the vacation. Not only that, but the sister should have urged the bride to go on the honeymoon instead of being selfish with her own attention. I keep telling you. I would have gone without her and reconsider our new union. There you go. She's putting her family before her husband. I see divorce in the future if she doesn't knock it off. If the sister had an accident, that would be different. But labor while her own husband is there, it's a double celebration. I would want my sister to go on her honeymoon because, sis, there ain't nothing you can do but wait in the lobby anyway. Yeah. So this is just a premature birth. Anyway, she should have went, and now they have a problem because that just leave and cleave. That's all I gotta say.
Like, what do we do curtains? We have to, right? Oh shit! Another rep just rolled up next to me. I hate when this happens. Not me hiding. Like, I'm literally
He can see your phone, you moron.
just hiding in my car. I can't deal with this. Loki, kind of curious what product he's selling though.
Jeez. Ugh, these women, these phones, man. Ugh.
Love the phone too much. Love the phone too much.
Yep. So this one says, "Are you house poor? What to do if you are?" It says, guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Once again, we're talking about being house poor. I kind of flubbed the beginning of this one because I wanted to put in that whole be evicted thing, and I thought we were talking about the housing market and not being house poor, but then everything on this side is about being house poor. Anyway, so make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that super chat button. All donations are appreciated. Jessica, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Pyro's ride or die, as always. I appreciate you being here. So this one's called "Are You House Poor? What to Do If You Are?" Owning a house is the American dream, but too many people find themselves in over their heads, resulting in a nightmare, not a dream. If this sounds like you or you think you're house poor, here's what you can do. You might be house poor when you spend too much of your monthly income on your housing expenses. If it's difficult to afford your other normal costs, you might feel like you're drowning in house payments. For some people, being house poor means you miss mortgage payments, can't pay your taxes, or don't have enough money for the daily cost of living each month. You probably wonder how someone can become house poor. After all, hold on, what the heck was that? Give me 1 second, you guys. I have something that is making noise here. Let me take that off. Cool. Okay. You probably wonder how someone can become house poor. After all, you must qualify for a mortgage before you get it. So how does it happen? Unfortunately, when getting a mortgage to determine your affordability, lenders review your debt to income ratio, which is what's this person's writing, which is the percentage of monthly debt payments you have compared to your income. However, we all know that we are responsible to cover more expenses than debt payments, such as electric, gas, water, sewage, internet, cable, childcare, and a host of other things. Outside of people stretching their budgets to the max, borrowing every dollar they are pre-approved to borrow, even though it's a stretch to their monthly budget, others have unfortunate circumstances that cause them to become house poor, including the following. Losing your job. If you lose your job and have trouble finding another, you could quickly get in over your head and get behind on your mortgage. Change your family size. If you bought your house before children, it might have been easy to afford, but once you have children, life gets much more expensive, making it hard to afford your housing payment. Letting emotions get the best of you. Sometimes we get in over our heads based on emotion, whether you're trying to keep up with the Joneses by buying a larger house than you can afford, or you want to impress friends, you might bite off more than you can chew. And is this a woman writing this? Well, it's on ClarissaExplainsMoney.com. So of course it is.
Exactly.
Clarissa, is that a man?
No, Clarissa's definitely a
Clarissa
girl's name.
explains war.
I know. Clarissa explains.
Yeah, how to seduce a woman.
Explains mortgages, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It says, so how do you know if you're house poor? You put all your money into your mortgage payments and put off necessary maintenance and repairs on the homes just to keep up. You don't have an emergency fund to cover unexpected issues with the house or anything else in your life. You hold your breath each month, wondering if you have enough money to pay the mortgage, real estate taxes, and home insurance. Your debt to income ratio is much higher than 43%. That means your debts take up more than 43% of your income. And women want to live like this for 30 freaking years, guys.
Also, Clarissa forgot one thing. Find a husband. That's
Yeah,
all.
exactly. Yep.
Before you find a house, don't care about the debt to ratio, whatever he said.
Yep.
Just get married first.
Because you are not supposed to do this by yourself, man. You're not. You're not supposed to do it by yourself. It says, what can you do to fix being house poor? If you've determined you are house poor, here are some steps you can take. I say one, sell that bitch. How about that? Revisit your budget. If you can't make ends meet each month, revisit your budget. Determining where you can cut back so you have more disposable income. Look at services you pay for what you don't need, or those you can shop around to save money on, such as cable, insurance, some utilities, and internet services. Consider cutting out excessive eating out and creating a budget for spending outside of the necessities you can to make ends meet. So, guys, do you think that women are ever going to go back in lifestyle just not be house poor? A lot of these women, the reason why they are house poor, why they bought that house in the first place, is this expectation of a lifestyle. Women want a nice car, a nice house, eat out all at all these restaurants, travel on girls' trips, even when they can't afford it.
That's true.
Clarissa is asking women to literally do the impossible.
Also, they overestimate how much they will win. I mean, what their wages will be.
Yeah, will earn.
Yeah, and how their life is gonna progress. You know, they think they're gonna be millionaires when they're like teachers. You know, stuff like that. It's
they're gonna get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in social work and think they're gonna be millionaires. You guys remember that Kevin Samuels call where that woman was a social worker and she said that she's going to make $1 million a year as a social worker, and Kevin Samuels almost fainted.
Yeah, And also when she's like, yeah, I want 3 children, and it should cost about 500,000 per year. So I need to find a man who earns that. And Kevin Samuels asked, what's the percentage of men who earn 500,000 per year? And sometimes you get answers like, I don't know, 50%. You know, like
Yeah, 30%. He's like, what?
30, 25. I mean, they have no. They're lost.
It's crazy. It says consider consolidating your debt. If you can consolidate your debt, you might save money. For example, if you have high interest credit cards, consider finding a 0% transfer card. Find additional income. No, really? It says today it's easy to add. Today it's easy to add to your regular income. So you can start a freelance gig online, work a part-time job, or use gig sharing apps like Uber or DoorDash to make extra money. Make sure to funnel the money towards your monthly bills so you can make ends meet and not feel so strangled by your monthly obligations. Refinance your mortgage. If you have equity in your home and decent credit, you may be able to refinance your mortgage to make it more affordable. Determine if you can get a lower interest rate. Ask for a loan modification. Ask your lender about a loan modification if you aren't eligible to refinance. This is a modification of your original mortgage terms. Okay, now how to avoid becoming house poor. It's best to avoid becoming house poor if possible. Here are a few key ways to ensure it doesn't happen to you. Keep your debt to income ratio low, so less than 43%. Keep it at 28%, but even that's kind of high, tell you the truth. Watch your budget. You just know that 40% of women don't budget. 40%. I think it's like 42% don't have a budget. So their money comes in and just goes out the door. Make a larger down payment if you have more funds up front. Have an emergency fund to try to keep 3 to 6 months of expenses. And it says, don't let being house poor ruin your financial goals. The key is to avoid becoming house poor by buying a home you can afford and taking the necessary steps to avoid it when you own your house. Life happens. It's not always fair, but when you're prepared, you can handle what comes your way. If not, there are options to help you as long as you ask. So what do we think about what Clarissa said?
And Doug, it reminds me of your videos, where women complained about their debt, the student debt, and you can see, because I have a master's degree in finance, so when I hear these, I mean, I'm always laughing my ass off, because you can understand what they did, and they always pay the minimum. They do not want to reduce their debt. They just want to pay the minimum per month, and this makes their hell last even longer, and that's the same thing with these houses. They do not budget. They always want to do the longest debts possible, and stuff like that. It just shows that they are not they're ill-advised either by their parents or by their friends, regarding this kind of purchase.
So one of the biggest differences between a housing loan and a student loan is housing loans have interest tacked onto it for the life of the loan, right? So if it's like 3-4% interest, that's tacked on. A student loan has APR, annual percentage rate. So if you have, what, a $100,000 in student loan debt, and you have a 6% interest, you're gonna have to pay $6,000 a year, each year before you even touch the principal. And mortgages aren't like that.
Also, it's a delayed. You can even reduce the student debt before a certain period. That's what you're saying.
Second,
you're saying that the student loans, you have to pay interest before you even attempt to pay back the principal. Yeah, that's
you got it.
And the longer you wait and the less you pay monthly, the more this state continues, and that's how they end up with situation where they've paid maybe 100,000 of interest out of 80,000 student debt. So it just shows that they don't understand what they should prioritize in a debt.
I did this video about this woman was like, yeah, I want to be a nurse. And so, I think she was in California, and she said all of the public universities have like a waiting list. So I'm going to go to this for-profit school where my nursing degree has an accelerated program that's only 3 years, but it's going to cost me $140,000. She's like, well, so I'll be 22 by the time I get my nursing degree, and if I just live at home for 4 or 5 years, I could pay it off. And that sounds that is true, but how many women are gonna scale back their lifestyle to do that?
No,
None.
none. It's
Definitely none.
impossible for them. It's
Yep.
impossible.
Nurses get out of college making about $60,000 a year, and most of these women, no matter what the student loans are, they're gonna get that nice car they wanted, and they're gonna buy some condo. It happens every single time.
And also, if I may,
Again, if you think women are gonna just scale back, yeah, I don't think so. It's like throwing a piece of meat on the ground and think the dog won't eat it.
Yeah.
That's so true.
And also, I don't know if you've noticed, but they always try to go to some prestigious schools, but the degrees they're getting are absolutely worthless. So I mean, if you go to MIT and you get an engineering degree, or you go to Harvard Law to be a lawyer, okay, I understand. But they go like to Harvard to do some studies, in women's studies degrees.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely pointless. It's pointless. and they
African
do it-
American studies.
Yeah, they do it only for their vanity. That's and they end up in debt with like a worthless degree.
And guys are waking up to this, man. Like guys are not dating women with kids, and they're asking women about the student loan debt. Don't get stuck with someone with a whole bunch of student loan debt, guys. Don't do it. Let's see what this woman has to say.
It's called not being house poor. The crazy thing is that there's people who get into buying a home not knowing what this means. What this means is all the money, all the income that you're making is going strictly to the home.
Who does she look like? She looks like with these thick eyebrows. Who does
Jada
she look?
Pinkett.
I was about to say
Yes.
Jada Pinkett. Yes, you got it.
That's
Doesn't she?
that's what I was about to say.
Rewind real quick. Yeah, look at that. Doesn't she look like Jada Pinkett? Look at that. Yeah, yikes.
Going strictly to the home, not to anything else. So God forbid something happens in your life, right? And you need to allocate your money elsewhere. You're not going to have money to pay your mortgage because you are house poor, because everything that you are making, all the income that you are getting is going to your home. The scary thing is, like I said again, people are buying houses and not realizing this.
You got it. I got one more video here, and then we can wrap it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, whenever you hear the word person in a negative context, this means women. Okay, and whenever it's for me, it's always funny because they always use. Whenever I mean, I'm very good at detecting
language and content.
Falsehoods in a way, because they, whenever they can avoid accountability for a woman, it becomes a person, and whenever they could, that's how they work. So whenever a person has divorced, for sure it was a woman who divorced, so it's just a way of, again, bringing smoke and mirrors to the current state of affairs, so yeah, it's something to notice. Whenever they use a longer word than necessary, like person instead of woman, it's for a bad goal in mind.
Yep, I agree 100%. Let's go see this last girl here.
So a lot of financial influencers will recommend buying a house if you can afford it, but this is why it doesn't always make sense. More than 1 in 4 people who own a home in the United States are house poor.
That's true. Like 30% of homeowners in the United States are house poor.
Jesus H. Christ.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
And she said a lot of financial influencers recommend. I mean, why would you listen to a financial influencer? I mean, it's completely.
I've said this on multiple scenes. Gen Z and Gen Alpha are the most likely generations to get financially scammed. You think it would be like your old grandma who clicks on the wrong email. You know what I'm saying? But no,
Yeah.
it's Gen Z because of all these financial guru influencers who say, oh, buy my program, do this program, sign up for this freaking crypto thing, and they lose all their money.
The crypto is the biggest scam of this past 5 years. You know, the NFTs and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'll talk to AJ and see if maybe we can do a live shit about that. Because just if you want to break that whole thing down, that would be awesome.
Yeah. It will be my pleasure. But yeah, let me know. I'm on Discord, though, so yeah, we
cool.
can
All
talk
right,
about it there.
that'd be awesome.
Which means more than 30% of their income is going towards their home. While it's most commonly seen in the major metros like Miami, Boston, New York, it can happen pretty much anywhere. And being house poor means your quality of life is honestly going to be pretty unpleasant because you are sacrificing everything you enjoy just to pay for the roof over your head. And a lot of times, especially younger homeowners, really underestimate the costs and expenses that go along with buying a home. You know, your mortgage is just one of them. You have to pay HOA fees. You may have to, pay closing costs. Then you may have to replace your appliances. There are so many expenses that go along with home ownership that people really underestimate. So even though renting is often kind of frowned upon and people say, oh, stop renting as soon as possible, it's throwing money away. While that's true, being a house poor is significantly worse because it basically means if any emergency comes up, you are completely screwed.
Of course, it ends with her knocking something over. But hey, you know what? Common sense. I got to give her a round of applause. So, but yeah, man, I'm just gonna say, being house poor, guys, don't do it. In a lot of major metropolitan areas, rent because the housing market is gonna have to come down. It always does. We're in this weird thing where high interest rates, high home prices, but everything has to come down. So just rent until things fall and then buy. And stay away from these women who are house poor. And the DMV area, I'll go back to a woman's house. All she has is a couch and a TV in the living room and like a bed in her master bedroom, and the rest of her house is empty. Don't save these women. Women think that female empowerment is buying a house no matter the cost. Men, we are cost benefit calculators. It's just way too expensive in a lot of markets right now. Jessica, what do you think? Final thoughts.
Just final thoughts is just to put aside, let's say your desire for appearances and just focus on what's financially sound. So it doesn't matter if your friends have mansions. If you can't afford one, don't buy one, and just get a husband first and do it as a couple. Otherwise, it's pointless. That's my advice of wisdom.
Pyro, final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with him. Like I think you shouldn't buy any houses, especially if you don't have the money like that. And then again, when you buy the house, you're gonna have to make sure it's fully maintained. I don't know what's going through these women's heads. Like women think nothing breaks, nothing happens in this house. You have to make sure the house fully maintained. You have to make sure nothing goes goes wrong in the mortgage. You have to make, and I think that's the reason why you should have a husband in the first place. You're supposed to be married in the first place, so this shouldn't be happening to you as a woman.
It shouldn't be their problem in a way. It should be the husband who does this, and that's it. She should raise the children. That's the point.
Yep, I agree 100%. I'm gonna be live Wednesday. I think I'm gonna have Wednesdays literally just for the crime files. So have maybe 2 or 3 of the craziest cases of women doing crazy stuff, and then have Sundays be my regular time. So I'll be live this Wednesday, probably at at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live on Sunday at the same time. I really appreciate everyone for joining. Jessica, you've been great. Pyro, as always, thank you so much. Carlos X, Reiji Gamer, Whiteout. I had to freaking hide that Zoomer Generation person. These trolls are in there, guys. Make sure to knock them out when you see them.
You're getting popular.
I know,
You're
right?
getting popular, yeah.
OSSR, Conquering Wanderer, Steve M, Adam A, Garrett Grant, Mr. Albert. I said Adam A already. Thank you for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. And I'm gonna hop over to AJ's stream because he's talking about Caitlin Clark, and I love that whole Caitlin Clark NBA thing. It just shows that women can't stand each other. Women cannot stand each other. So I'll see you guys over there. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Okay?
Yeah. Bye. Thanks for all.
See ya. Oh, Carlos X. Thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Bye.